Chapter 32, Louis L'Amour Library in Chokecherry. Large, grandiose bookshelves lined the walls up to the dome ceiling. Casey's boots thumped on the marble floor. He heard the quiet flip of a page as he passed small reading nooks. The day workers had unloaded all of Gunner's stuff at Iverson's pot, and Truckee had left with them in the U-Haul, destined for Home Depot. Casey had unhooked Gunner's boat and taken his truck to the Louis L'Amour Library in downtown Chokecherry. The majestic building reminded him of the Free Library of Philadelphia near Logan Square. Casey found the designated private study areas and slid into booth 3, closing the door behind him. Piper sat at a small table with bench seating under a dim light. Her MacBook was on the table in front of her. "Hey, Piper," Casey whispered. Piper smiled and patted the bench next to her. "Hey, how'd it go out at Gunner's place?" "Not too bad, but sorry if I'm sweaty." Casey nestled in next to Piper and hoped her cucumber melon would mask his sweat. "You're good." Piper leaned into him. "So what'd you find?" "Look at this." Piper twisted her laptop screen toward him. "I plotted all the waypoints on Google Earth. 21 total points at various places throughout North Dakota. Do you see all the black pins?" "Yeah, it looks like about half are black. What does that signify?" "Those are the oil drill sites. I confirmed them on the state's oil and gas division website, which we know is where Farley works. Nice find on the ethics probe." Casey gave her a gentle squeeze on her forearm. "Thanks." "What's curious about the oil drill sites is that the land for most of them is owned by independent farmers or homeowners, like Parson by Knife River." "Yes, and like Parson, there have been missing persons reports filed for 5 locations so far. None of the folks have turned up and some have been missing for a year. The only common denominator I found is that each of these drill sites is being run by a single company." She glanced up at him. "Rebel Resources." She nodded. "Any luck digging in on them?" She clicked on an image and a grainy document popped up on screen. It was a broken scan of an official business document filed with the state of North Dakota. "I couldn't find any usable information on Rebel Resources other than it being tied to a company in Delaware." "Same. But what I did find is this amendment article buried in one of the state's commerce databases. I can't make out the signature, but look at the email." Casey followed Piper's finger on the document. rebelrockstar@protonmail.com. What is Proton Mail? "I looked it up, and I guess it's a secure email mostly used by drug dealers, hackers, and spies. I'll have to ask my sister about it. Does that look like a G on the signature?" Piper shrugged. "Could be, but the way they swooped the top part so large, it could also be an E." "I can see that too." Casey still wondered if someone like Gleck was behind Rebel Resources. He'd have enough money to fund 10 oil drills and the loss prevention agents to muscle them. Could Gunner be working with Gleck and his agents? "What do you know about those other waypoints?" "Still trying to figure that out." Piper brought Google Earth back up. "They aren't oil drill locations. They're random places around the state. A few by Minot, Fargo, and Bismarck." "Can I see the ones by Bismarck?" "Yeah, hold on." Piper zoomed in on the map so Bismarck was big on the screen. 3 points in the area. "That one northwest of town, that might be where he was yesterday." She clicked on the point. It was a dot in the middle of the Missouri River just past the Misty Bay Marina. "That's it, right there. That's where he took Farley out on his boat for the meeting yesterday. Those other points must be meeting locations." "I bet you're right." Casey's phone vibrated. "Alley-oop. I better take this quick." "Go ahead." Casey squeezed the phone to his ear. "Hey, sis, how's it going?" "I got in. I'm in." "Whoa, that's awesome." "Yeah, it is." "Wait, sis, you never refer to me as sis." "What do you mean? You sound weird. Why are you whispering?" "Oh, wait, are you sitting next to your new girlfriend?" "She's not my... Just, what's Gunner doing?" "Hello, girlfriend. This is Casey's super cool sis." She yelled loud enough for the whole booth to hear. Piper giggled. "Hey, Casey's sister, I'm Piper." Casey put the call on speaker and set it on the table. "Okay, you're on speaker now, alley-oop." "Hi, Piper. Nice to virtually meet you. Hope to meet you in person this summer when I come out to visit. I can tell you some of Casey's best childhood stories." "Nope." "I'd love that, and I'll show you around Chokecherry, too." "I like you already," Allie said. "Chewbacca, is she in on this thing we're working?" "Chewbacca?" Piper eyed him. "It's her nickname for me." "As in super tall and hairy?" Allie snickered. "Chews gum all the time?" Piper muffled a laugh. "Have your fun," Casey said. "And yes, Piper is in on the Gunner thing. We were just going over her findings." "That's cool," Allie said. "Maybe we can exchange numbers and compare notes later, but let me tell you the pressing news." The thought of Piper and Allie exchanging numbers made Casey drop his forehead into his palm. "What's the latest?" "Okay, so I'm live on his Ring cameras and I'm watching him storm through his house, freaking out. He's been cursing the whole time, and after he read a note in his kitchen, he threw it in the air and shot it from a fast draw from a gun on his hip. I watched the whole thing live from the camera by by the back door. That guy can shoot. That's what I've gathered, Casey said. Piper grabbed his hand. You need to be careful. Casey nodded. Of course, Allie continued. Getting into his camera is amazing in its own right, but I took it to the next level. As soon as Gunner's phone connected to his home Wi-Fi, I got on his device. I used this special, we'll call it a tool, that turns his phone into a hot mic and a beacon. That's incredible. Where's he at right now? Casey asked. Can you hear him talking? He is in his garage trying to move some big object. I can't tell what it is. It's a safe and he won't be able to get in there. Yeah, well, I don't know what you have in store for him, but he just talked to someone on the phone he called Boss. You can hear his phone calls? Piper asked. Like I said, a hot mic. I can hear everything. You're going to need to teach me some of these tricks this summer, Piper said. Deal. What happened on the phone call? Casey asked. The boss asked if Gunner took care of everything at the site. Gunner said the site was clear of tourists or something, but he had to go tie up one other loose end. The Chinese tourists, Casey thought. We have all his stuff waiting for him out at a warehouse north of town. That's where we're gonna jump him. Oh, wish I was there, Allie said. He ended his chat with the boss by agreeing to meet at a place called Peas and Something Pub before they both fly out tomorrow. P's and Q's, Casey said. Gunner was there the other night. I bet he's meeting with Leo Gleck before he leaves. But wait, you said they're both flying out? That's what the boss guy said. We need to meet up at the pub and talk before our flights tomorrow morning. Dang, that's strange. So the boss is getting out too? I know all about Gleck from my dad, Piper said. He's not the type to flee the city he considers to be in his pocket. Allie, do you use Proton Mail? Casey asked. Yeah, who doesn't? Casey laughed. Me and 99% of the rest of the world. We'll send you a Proton Mail address and see what you can find, Piper said. Sounds good. Oh, and word to Chewie, Allie said. I'm watching Gunner on the camera and he's got his keys in his hand. Might want to head out soon. Right, thanks, Alley-oop. I'll call you on the way for more updates. Hope to see you soon, Piper. You too, Allie. Casey pocketed his phone and stood up with Piper. Seriously, be safe out there. I'll try to figure out this boss connection before I head home to my parents. You have backup, right? Yeah, we have 5 guys. Casey held her hand. I'll call you after and let you know how it went. Thanks for all your help. We really make a great team. Yeah, we do. They kissed and Piper playfully pushed him away. Go. Casey bounded out of the library with his chin up and chest out. He'd never experienced affection from a woman of Piper's caliber, and it instilled a confidence in him he didn't know he had. He planned to channel the energy from Piper into the beast that had always been inside of him, the hunter, hell-bent on taking Gunner down.